Problem 978, it tells us to solve for x, and each part is a separate problem. So let's go ahead and have a look at A first. So A tells us if the measure of angle 1 equals 3x minus 18 degrees and the measure of angle 5 equals 2x plus 12, find x. Well, first I want to take a look at this measure, this angle 1 and this angle 5. All right, so I see that these are corresponding angles. So they are on the same side of that transversal, and they are both fall on a parallel line. So these are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles have equal measurements. So I need to do, if I'm setting up an equation, I'm going to need to do 3x minus 18 and set it equal to 2x plus 12. And I do think probably with this, the hardest part is getting that equation. So once we have this equation, it should be no trouble. We're going to solve this like any other equation. So what I would do is I would try to get the variable on one side. So I'm going to subtract 2x from here and 2x from here. So I'm left with x minus 18 on this side equals 12. And then to get x by itself on this side, I'm just going to add 18 because I get a 0 pair there, and then I'll add 18 to the other side. So I am left with x equals 30 for part A. All right, now on to part B. So for part B, it says, if the measure of angle 3 equals 4x minus 27 and the measure of angle 6 equals x plus 39, find x. So we are looking at the measure of angle 3 right here and angle 6. All right, which is right here. So angle 3 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. And what that means is that they are on opposite sides of the transversal and they are on the inside of the parallel lines. So alternate interior angles have equal measure. So that's going to help us write our equation. We're going to do 4x minus 27. That's our measurement of angle 3. We know it's equal to the measure of angle 6. So we set it equal to x plus 39 then. All right, and again, I could just solve this like any equation now. I'm going to subtract x from this side. Do it on this side as well. I'm left with 3x minus 27 equals 39. To get that 3x by itself, I'm going to add 27. I have to do that on both sides. So I'm left with 3x equals, 39 plus 27, and 39 plus 27 is going to give me 66. All right, and my last step, to get that x by itself, I do want to divide by 3. I'm going to have to do that on both sides. So x equals 66 divided by 3. And when we divide 66 by 3, we get 22. Make sure you do put the degrees symbol above that. I do think I forgot to do that in the last one, but since we were talking about angle measurements, we do want to make sure we have that degrees symbol. All right, on to part C. So C says if the measure of angle 4 equals 49 degrees and the measure of angle 6 equals 5x plus 41 degrees, find x. All right, first things first, let's have a look at these two angles. So we're looking at angle 4 and angle 6. 4 and 6. Okay. So 4 and 6 are not of equal measure, but 4 and 6 do add up to 180 degrees. So our equation is going to look a little bit different than it did in parts A and B. What we're going to do is we have our 49 degrees, that's the measure of angle 4. The measure of angle 6 is 5x plus 41. We're going to add these two together because we know I talked about how the two of these, they're not equal, but they add up to 180 degrees. Now we can solve this equation. So on this side I have a 49 and a 41. When I add 49 and 41, I should get 90. So it's going to be 90 plus 5x on this side and equals 180. To get that 5x by itself, I'm going to subtract 90. I do that on this side as well. So I'm left with 5x equals 180 minus 90, which is 90. And to get my x by itself, I need to divide by 5. So that gets my x by itself. Now don't forget I have to divide by 5 on this side as well. And 90 divided by 5 is going to give me 18 degrees. And that is all for 978.